Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. You know, here we educate, motivate, and inspire you to excel in all areas of your life. Today I'm going to talk to you about the difference between a collection and a charge-off. You know, a couple of weeks ago I sent out a survey, just a surveying some of the people and asking some of the different areas that they needed help with. And most of the responses came back their credit. So I'm like, okay, well, let me just continue to educate on your personal credit and how you can boost your credit. Look, y'all, we're in the final stretch, the last quarter of 2023. No more excuses. We're going to get this credit right. We're going to boost our scores, and I'm here to help you boost your credit score. So, hey, no more excuses. If you want to boost your credit, if you want to improve your credit file, you need to first pull your credit report. I think I've been saying this for the past 2-3 months. Go to annualcreditreport.com and pull your credit report. You can't fix your credit unless you know what's on it to be fixed, okay? So I'll leave the link below in the description, annualcreditreport.com. Okay, today let's talk about the difference between a collection and a charge-off. So on your credit report, if there are some creditors on there that you haven't paid, and it could be a collection or it could be a charge-off, and you're just not sure what's the difference. So let's start with a collection. A collection is still an open account, and that's when the creditor or the debt collector is still pursuing you for a payment or to settle the debt. So a collection is still open, and the creditor or the debt collector is still attempting to collect the debt from you. So that's kind of like when you're getting those calls on your phone, you know, maybe from Capital One or a creditor that you owe and you haven't been paying. And so they're still calling you. And what you're doing, are you responding to the call or are you ignoring it? Ignoring it is not helping. So you want to make sure that you communicate with the creditor. So what you can do when the creditor call you, don't ignore it, answer it, and just see what they're saying. Of course, they want to collect the debt. And just say you owe $1,000. I mean, if you don't have the $1,000, just tell them you don't have it and see what you can do to maybe work out a payment plan or maybe even settle the debt for less than the $1,000. So don't ignore the creditor when they're calling your phone. That's the worst thing that you can do, because what you're doing is you're continuously getting those late payments reported to your credit. So when you're ignoring the collector, the debt collector or the creditor when they're calling you, you're ignoring, you get in a 30-day late, you get in a 60-day late, you get in a 90-day late. So all of those late payments are reflected on your credit score. And what is that doing? Reflected on your credit report. So what is that doing? It's bringing down your credit score. So don't ignore the creditor. So you want to make sure, just pick up the phone, talk to them, see if you can make arrangements with them so that you can protect your credit file and your credit score, okay? So also, and this is another important reason why you should pull your credit report, because you could have several collections on your report. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're tackling the most current collection. If you have 2 or 3 collections on your report, one could be 2 years old, one could be a year old, and one could be brand new. You want to first tackle that brand new one, because that one is affecting your score the most. So don't ignore the creditors when they call in, because those collections and you're ignoring the calls, you're not trying to make a payment, and the account is still open. So those 30, 60, 90-day reports are getting reported to your credit file, and your credit score is steadily dropping. So don't ignore the creditor. Pick up the phone, and then sometime when they call, you might get a rep on the phone that's not willing to work with you. Don't let that stop you. Okay, you say thank you, whatever, get off the phone, and the next day call again, because you'll get a different representative, and that representative might be able to work a settlement out with you or work out some kind of payment arrangement with you. So the best thing to do is don't ignore it. If you don't have all the money to pay the debt, work out a settlement, work out a payment arrangement. That way you're protecting your credit file and your credit score. Okay, so that is a collection. The collection is still open and the creditor is pursuing that debt currently. So, and they'll normally, maybe for, I don't know, maybe up to 6 months, that they'll continually try and to pursue to get the debt paid. Now, after the 6 months, that's when we're looking at a charge-off. And that's our next one. The difference between a collection and a charge-off. The collection is the account is still open and the creditor or the debt collector is still trying to pursue you to get to pay for the debt. Now, maybe about 6 months, the creditor will just charge the debt out as a loss. So what that means is they're not going to pay. So we're just going to write the debt off as a loss because we're not contacting them and it doesn't look like they're going to make the payment. So that is a charge off, and that is severely affecting your credit file and your credit score. I'm talking about like 50 to 100 points when you get a charge off on your credit report and credit file. Okay, so on the charge off, like I said, it's the creditor has written off the debt. Now that doesn't mean that you're not responsible for that debt anymore. You're still responsible for the debt. So after 6 months, maybe 180 days, then the creditor will charge the debt off or write the debt off. Doesn't mean that you're not liable for the debt. And that debt, when they write it off, that is a significant effect on your credit score, like 50 to 100 points. So you want to make sure that that's why when it's in the collection state, that's why you want to try and handle it when it's in collection and not let it be charged off. Not saying that you can't dispute a charge off and get it removed from your credit, but it will take a little bit more work. So on the charge off, that means that the creditor has written off the debt. In most cases, after they write it off, what they do normally is they'll sell it to a collection agency, and then you'll start getting calls from the collection agency. So I know you look at your phone. I'm not maybe Portfolio. I think that's a debt collector. I'm not sure, but you'll get a call from a debt collector, and then they'll start trying to collect that same debt, even though that the original creditor wrote it off. And it's on your credit report. Now you have a collection agency calling you, trying to collect on that same debt. Now, what I recommend in that, when the collection agency is calling you, don't ignore it. Go ahead and talk to the collection agency. Go ahead and talk to them. Now, when you talk to a collection agency, you always want to get it in writing. Don't agree to anything until you get it in writing. Now, what you can do is, because most of the time those collection agencies, they buy those charge-offs from the original credit for pennies on a dollar. So if you owe $1,000 and they trying to collect that $1,000, they'll settle with you. I mean, you talk to the collection agent, tell them what you have, and don't agree to pay it until you get it in writing. But try and settle that debt with the collection agency. At least you got it at a zero balance. And another reason why it's so important that you pull your credit report and you know what's on the credit report, because sometimes that same debt, just say like in the beginning I said you owe Capital One, just say you owe Capital One $1,000. You didn't take care of it when it went into collection, and now it's a charge off. So now that it's a charge off, that Capital One, they've written it off as a loss, and then they sold it to the collection agency. So now what could happen on your credit report, if you don't review your credit report, that same $1,000 could be reporting on your credit file twice. But you only owe $1,000, but it could be showing on your credit report Capital One $1,000, and then the collection agent, maybe Portfolio or whoever the credit collector is or the collection agent is, they could be reporting $1,000. So you have two $1,000 on your credit report, which is inaccurate. So that's why you want to pull your credit report so that you can know what's on your credit report. Make sure there's not duplicates. Make sure that account is not on your report that shouldn't be, that you're not familiar with. So that's why it's important that you pull your credit reports. Okay, so now let's kind of briefly go over the difference between a collection and a charge-off. The collection is still open. The account is still open. The creditor is still pursuing you to pay the debt. So that's why you kind of really want to just take care of it at the collection state. It is dropping your score, but if you can take care of it, it avoids the score going down even more. So the collection is still open, the account is still open, the creditor is still pursuing you to pay the debt. Just talk to the creditor and try and make a payment, make an arrangement, or settle the debt. The charge-off is when the creditor has written the debt off and they're showing it as a loss, but it's reported on your credit report, and most of the time is then sold to a collection agency. So now the collection agency is calling you. So it's charged off, it's showing charged off on your credit report. Your score has tremendously dropped, and now you have this collection agency calling you. So that's why you want to make sure that you try and take care of it before it gets to charge off. You want to take care of it in the collection. Really, you want to just try and pay your debts. You don't want it to go into collection, and you don't want it to go in charge off, but things happen. You know, you may have lost your job or something financially happened and you wasn't able to pay your bills. So that's why it's so important. Just call the creditor. Don't be afraid. I mean, they're a person just like you are. Just pick up the phone and call them. If you get someone that's rude or not willing to work with you, okay, that's not the one. Hang up. Next day, call again. More than likely, you'll get someone that can help you. Okay, so don't ignore it. Don't ignore the collection. Don't ignore the charge off. Pull your credit report and review your credit file, and so that you'll know what's on the report, so that you'll know how to dispute. So no more excuses, y'all. Let's make it happen. I'm here to help you. I offer a free consultation. I'll leave my information down below. So I'm here to help you. I will walk you through your credit report, line by line, account by account. We'll make a specific plan based on your credit report and show you how to dispute, what to say in your letters, and then that way you can dispute those reports and then to see your credit file improve and your credit score to go up. Okay, so no more excuses. 2023, we're going to finish strong. 2024, we're going to go after it all full-hearted and meet all our goals, okay? So I hope this information was helpful to you. As I said, I will leave all the information in the description below, annualcreditreport.com, my free consultation. So no more excuses. Let's get it.